and not judge me too long. Got it in before we recorded. Good job, good job. All right. So happy January, happy New Year, everyone. No, I mean it. Happy New Year. Yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate it. All right. We're gonna go ahead and start with our sponsors who are getting comfortable. So that gives me a second to figure out. Becca, come help me. You might as well just go ahead and come up here and stay up here with me. That would be. All right, let's see if I can. No, it doesn't want to though.
An agent that does desk duty anymore?
They sit right there.
Oh, good.
Old school, the clicker doesn't want to work for me.
I love it.
You're energized by,
All right, Zoom world, somebody needs to mute, please. All right. Bring it to slideshows. There we go. All right, to get started, I'd like to, yeah, we're in this thing. We're in it sloppy and in the air. We're building this airplane as we're going, but today I would love to welcome Jennifer Taylor from Hamilton Home Mortgage.
you. Good morning, everybody. I just walked in the door and I was like, I'm usually trying to keep things behind. So I have some great information to share with you guys.
Which one, from the HOA? Yeah.
Okay, thanks. I think I've mentioned before that we were acquired by Lower.com, a fintech company, back in July. So we are still reaping kind of the benefits of that, and I wanted to share some things with you guys. First of all, we are now able to do construction loans. We had an outlet before at Hamilton, but it wasn't a very good one, so we didn't use it. But now we're actually doing them directly. Like, it's not brokered, it's in-house, within our company. We've got a great construction to perm department. I just closed a VA construction loan. It's a 2-time close. We did the first one in December. We're gonna close the next one, hopefully by May. But if you guys have anybody who, you know, is looking for a construction loan, we're doing FHA, VA, and conventional. And I think once I take the training on USDA, then we'll be doing those as well. So just keep that in mind. The first one I did went extremely smoothly. I mean, even the builder was impressed because of the support that we have from that construction department. So it made a really big difference. So keep that in mind. Also, Lower is in conversation with multiple national builders for some builder programs that we're very excited about. I can't tell you who those builders are yet, but they are here in the triad. So we're really hoping in the next 2 weeks to hear about those relationships being solidified, and we'll keep you guys posted. We are already a preferred lender for Eastwood, Windsor, and Cross Point. So keep that in mind also if you have any buyers looking at those builders. Any loan officer at Hamilton can originate those. And some loan officers have different relationships with different sales associates at those 2 builders, but if you want to work with a particular loan officer at Hamilton, you can use anyone for those deals too. We also, as I posted on your Facebook page recently, we are now the preferred lender for Open Door. So when you see listings that say, you know, if it's an Open Door property and it's being listed, and in the notes, it says that they'll offer a $2,500 lender credit if the buyer uses Lower.com, read that as Hamilton Home Mortgage. Like, locally, we can do that for you and honor that credit. So just keep that in mind too, as your buyers are looking at any of those properties. Okay, on another note, we have seen rates come down, so I think most of you know that. We're excited about it. Tomorrow, the CPI report comes out. We're really optimistic about it. After the last report came out, rates dropped and they dropped again the following week. So we're really hoping that the bond market's gonna rally tomorrow and rates are gonna come down again. So hopefully that's a really good sign for us, and we will, of course, keep you posted. It won't be a secret tomorrow. Once that report comes out, we usually see an immediate reaction, in the market in the morning. And I think I just wanted to bring up, we had our lender panel yesterday. So a couple of the things that we talked about, for those of you that missed it, is that all of us, all of the lenders are seeing a trend in seller concessions, sellers, paying for repairs, and an upward acceptance on FHA, VA, and USDA offers, including down payment assistance. So if you have buyers you were working with the last 2 years who just got tired, I think we all have them. They just felt defeated in this market and they just felt like they couldn't get anywhere with their government loan offer or their DPA offer. I would reach out to them and re-engage them. I'm having personally a lot of success with that and getting people re-engaged and having a conversation about the market. And I would encourage you guys to do the same. We're seeing, seller sessions anywhere from 3 to 5% in our office, and about 50% of our deals right now have them. So I would encourage you to also not be afraid to ask for them on behalf of your buyers. Don't assume that that's not going to be a negotiable point in making an offer, because we are seeing that. And I think that's it for now. Oh, and just a reminder, our next lender panel. Our lender panels are the second Tuesday of every month. And if you haven't come to one, I think a lot of people here have. But if you haven't, we encourage you to come, bring questions with you. And if you have any topics of interest that you want us to talk about, just let any of the preferred lenders know. We always talk before the lender panel to discuss what is on the agenda, but we really would like feedback from you. We want the panel to continue to be highly attended and make sure it adds value to all of you. So if you have any ideas, please let us know. And I think that's it for me. I really appreciate your time. Thanks.
I think the partnership with Open Door, I did a couple deals with Open Door last year, and having a lender that's well versed within their program and how they work is a great ally to have. So, and awesome to hear that buyers, that the buyer market is moving in a more positive direction, because she's 100% right. It was rough the last couple of years for buyers. It was really rough, and if you've got people who are out there, and they're renting and they're talking about those interest rates, when you rent, your interest rate is 100%. So 7% is not that scary, right? All right, thank you so much, Jennifer. We're going to now talk to our lovely lady from Assurance.
Thank you guys for letting us come
Absolutely.
out and help today. Kristen with Assurance Home Inspections. Love just being here as we start the new year. It's so exciting, and congratulations on your new team leader. I know Jen from way back, and so very happy that you guys have are in such a good spot. We did over 2,000 inspections last year, and this was our biggest office. So a lot of you guys had a big part in that. And so it was thrilling to get to jump in here today and see you guys in person and tell you that we're cheering for you this year in 2023. I really, really value just being a part of your program here. This is our 4th year that we've been in your vendor program. So we're really proud to be a part of this office, this market center, what you guys are doing. Y'all have seen this slide several times. We do all the inspections, that. And Crystal and I were just having a really good conversation about the sewer scopes. That's something that I'd love to get back together with you all and talk, like do another lunch and learn. We're doing a lot of those right now. They add so much value. I think there's important as pest inspections. That's where we run the camera from the clean out and see what's in that line. We get a lot of callbacks on that, and we say, well, did you get that sewer scope inspection? And people don't, I think if we can kind of educate our industry on the value it adds, you can really help your clients a lot with that. So that's something we'll come back to. I hope. We did one other lunch and learn that was awesome. Good to have lunch while you're talking about sewers. And so think termites are grosser, to be honest. I think that bugs crawling and falling on your face and in there, you know, when they're in the respirator under the house is nastier, but the sewer scopes add a lot of value. Several of these things do. And so, reach out, let us know how we can help you guys this year. You know, it is a one-stop shop, but it's really an experience working with our team from going under contract to getting you to the closing table. A lot of you guys, you know, kind of appreciate and understand that because you've had done a few inspections with us, but we'd love to be a part of, you know, moving you forward this year. Jennifer touched on this earlier. Re-inspections are back. We had some people on our team that had never done a re-inspection because there were no concessions being done. So it's a good time that, you know, you can add some of these other inspections that your clients from the last couple of years may have had to waive. It's a good time to take that total look at the home. Because we do have goodwill from our sellers right now as we go through this shift. So reach out. I know you guys are, you know, want to do your team meeting, but let us know how we can help you all this year. So thanks for letting us be a part of your market center.
It is funny that the thing that I always remember about you, Moses, is that you do love the sewer scopes. I mean, I like it is.
That'd be known for something.
Right, well, it's had to be known for something. But it's interesting. I remember the last time that I heard you talk, we had an agent she had a condo that was shared space with another individual who said that they were not constantly flushing down was it your renter, with the cosmetic wipes, and kept saying, no, I'm not.
Makeup wipes, and she told me she wasn't, and I said, well, I've got video evidence that you are.
Right.
It was $1,500 to have it hybrid vetted to get all the wipes out of the line.
See,
It was a duplex that we own in Bessemer, and yeah,
that was you. That's what I remember.
That's
It,
why I'm passionate about sewers.
it makes 100%. Nice also to be back to doing full inspections. Thank you, Kristen. All right, best part of the meeting. So I just have to tell you, for somebody who just came into this office, when I was going through the interview process and walking around the market center, I was like, what is the deal with all the ducks? I mean, there's ducks everywhere in this office. And some people have got them all lined up and decorated. And when I found out what they really meant, and then also to be able to witness that at the last meeting, for me coming in, that said a lot about our culture. So I love that we do this. This is my favorite part. So one, let's get this party started. Who wants some ducks? Who has some bucket fills? If you don't know, that's what we use the ducks for. Their bucket fills, their recognition, their love, their energy. Who's got one? Thank you.
We have a little one.
Awesome. Great. Good. Anybody go to luncheon yesterday? Did you hard work? Well, we were fortunate enough that we have some folks in our ranks that have been thoughtful enough to step forward and represent the realtor community and be a participant on the Greensboro Regional Realtors Association board. And they were sworn in yesterday. So I would like very much to both compliment, thank, and congratulate Maxine. And when you're here, I don't know if it's here or on Zoom. Hey, I have your dog. And Heather, who just, is she here? She's not here. Heather's been the last several years in president-elect, president, and immediate past president. And so she has now stepped away, and taking on the presidential role is a huge undertaking. And especially because it's a 3-year commitment. So Heather, with you all. And my
Remember everybody. So that means you
So.
need
It
it was a great turnout yesterday at the meeting. I'm going to be there every month. I encourage for you guys to be at the association meeting. That's important to participate in your trade board. And in addition to that, that also means that this month, for whatever reason, the association held the meeting on an odd week. It's normally the first Tuesday of the month. So lender panel will not be a conflict next month because they'll be back on the first of the month. So you'll be able to participate in both. Who else has some ducks? Who else would like to share some love?
I was just
gonna add, just a statement to the GR, the realtor distinction deadline is this Friday. So if you're applying for that, make sure that you fill that out.
And don't be scared to fill it out.
No, it's easy, it's super, it's super easy, it's 10 minutes.
Elton has bucket fills.
That's why I'm on ducks. I feel going.
I want to thank Jamie for sitting on the panel with us this morning. It was kind of last minute and she did such a great job. Thank you.
So the other day, I got an email from Bernie Kennedy. And many of you guys don't know the story, back in 2004, 2005, I haven't seen that long ago, but it is that long ago. This office was open and we started with 25 agents and over a year, we were over 100. And the reason for that success, and the reason why I'm here, the reason why a lot of you guys are here, honestly, is because Burton and June and Sharon back then, and still are, key people in the real estate industry. And so when you sent me that email, I was happy for him, but of course I was sad. Because it's kind of like, I'm leaving, going out the door. Yes. I just wanted to tell that story of all of thanking you, Burton, and the students here too, for taking a chance, having a vision, on opening a company that no one knew who, well, actually, no one did come and fail before.
Yeah.
Right? And it still didn't know who it was. I just wanted to tell that story because I am here because of June and Burton and Sharon. Thank you.
Yeah, it's almost retiring. I'll come to these meetings, I'm just not watching.
So this stuff is from all of us, to critical.
Crystal, I would like to thank you, for being there. I was struggling with something and her advice was, go talk to Jen. You know, I mean, not that she couldn't help me, but like she said, Jen, not choosing the side, she has my best interest in heart, so thank you for that. And I would like to thank Crystal Williams for trusting me with your clients for the work that I've done, and I just thank you, I appreciate it. I fell in love with her client, but I wanted to thank you. You didn't have to do all that you have done for me. And James, thank you. Always being there to answer any question and volunteering to help. I asked James to go on a show with me, and it was my fault. I booked a new construction, but he's gonna head to High Point. Just to. It meant so much to me that he's gonna come all the way from Greensboro just to go on the show with me, to just help me. I mean, sometimes I'm the type of person, Jamie told me, don't be afraid to ask, and I am that person. I always feel like a mom to someone, and it just meant the world to me that Jamie was gonna take the time out of this morning, and I messed it up, but. Thank you. And Jen, I just want to thank you again for that amazing meeting that we had and guiding.
Wasn't expecting to get any ducks. Few things that you'll learn about me. I have the opposite of dry eye syndrome and I cry at a drop of a hat anyway, so. My kids call me weepy when we go to the movies. They're not really watching the movie. They're waiting to see at what point am I bawling, because I'm always bawling through it. I cry at commercials. It's a lovely thing. So I apologize for tearing up. That's very sweet. and I appreciate that. It was a good meeting for me, and I learned just as much in those meetings about myself as I do about you guys. And so I appreciate that. And it's a really important point that I'd like to bring up. I was going to make your entire leadership team come stand up here at the front. And the reason why is because one of the really cool things about Keller Williams is we're not a traditional brokerage in the way that we have all of these people who are here on your behalf working for you. A lot of traditional brokers, they have just a broker in charge and maybe an admin, and that broker in charge is everything. Whereas we're really awesome, in my opinion, to allow our brokers in charge to be that, to have somebody who has a vision for the market center, as RRP does, our operating principal, to have a team leader who is in charge of growth and development. That's what a team leader does within Keller Williams. So that is my job. If you are coming into situations where you're having difficult business decisions, or you just need a second look at something or a thought, if my door is open, it is truly open. You can come step in at any time. And if you need an appointment, just text me. That's the one thing that I ask. I am a super texter because when I am in appointments, I don't look at my phone. I'm there 100% in that appointment with you. So just know that text me first. I won't answer if you call me, most likely because I'm in front of somebody, but I will get back to you as soon as I can. So I appreciate that because it was an opportunity for me to be able to address that. So thank you. Any other ducks, any other bucket fills before we move on to the next? Go ahead.
I think some of these people were here, they were a couple weeks ago. Jim was nice enough, and the company, to sponsor a cold beer. But anyway, it was such a pleasure. Because we got to sit down, and I'm going to encourage everyone here that if you have not taken a moment to get to know Jim, you need to. It's a remarkable lady. We're really fortunate and blessed to have her.
Yeah. I'm only a hugger here. I don't know what that is. It's the love and that, I just want to thank you guys. This is not me, it's not about me, and we're gonna move on, but just thank you for the love you've shown to me. Going through the process that, you know, it was a 2-month interview process. I stepped out of the role that I was in and took a leap of faith that I was gonna come into the team leader role. I was looking at 3 market centers total. And halfway through this process, I knew this was the right place for me. ALC members being able to talk to you and learn about like how you guys describe the market center, that sealed the deal for me. Seeing how leadership loves each other, stands up for each other and loves you guys, that sealed the deal for me. As a matter of fact, when I met with your leadership team before I got the position, at the end of the meeting, I ended it with, well, I've decided I'm here, so if you guys could just go ahead and figure that out, that would be great. So just thank you. I really, really appreciate you guys welcoming me in, and thank you for that, Bill. I hope to get to know each and every one of you. All right. Can I have the last recipient of the Red Shoe Award, please? If you will, can you explain what the Red Shoe Award is?
Oh, gosh, me?
Yes.
Honestly, somebody's gonna, I guess the person that's been helping with the market center people around, I mean.
I think that's-
That would be my guess. See that I have no.
I love it. It's because I like you to do that to you, because you're lovely, and you've got a great personality.
I do not like speaking.
No, that's fair. So it's an environment. Somebody who's, yes, helping the market center when these are our core values. And so that I won't put you more on the spot except for, if you will, who's the next recipient of the
The
Red
next
Shoe Award?
person, this person's incredible, amazing. Not only did they build a big business, they're also willing to help and share their wisdom, experience with everybody else, whether it's teaching the classes. Every single time I picked up the phone and needed help, this person was willing to help without a doubt. I mean, even though they had all the stuff going on, so the shoe goes to Dee Dee kind of.
It's yours. We'll put it back up on this, but no, for now, it's yours, like that, you need to bask in its glory. You smell the shoe, is it good? That was the best reaction ever, Dee Dee, that was fantastic. I love it. This is what I'm saying, this is magic, magic, magic. All right, happy anniversary. There's a whole lot of us who are celebrating our anniversaries. I actually started in December of 2017, but they moved my date to apparently now, so. Or actually, this is December, isn't it? See? Oh, there you go. So the December anniversaries. Fantastic. So there's a whole lot of people on there, and quite a few of your leadership team started way, way back. You got Tom and Donna right up there at the list, Bill. But congratulations and thank you for being with us for another year. Becca's got anniversary cards for anybody who is on this slide who is here today. So make sure that you see her after the meeting. We want to make sure that you get some love for us, and we look forward to another awesome year with you. All right, birthdays. Do we sing happy birthday? Do we like make everybody stand up and sing happy birthday? Can I ask? Can he says no, he said, no, I don't want to do it. No. All right, no.
So I feel a little weird.
You wouldn't have to sing anyway, all right? Yeah, happy birthday to everybody. I know that in the past we have mailed out those birthday cards, and I know for December that we've done the same in January as well. Is that correct? No, cool. Starting with meetings going forward, we're gonna go, well, we'll be bringing in a birthday cake, and we want to give you those cards in person. So please make sure that on your birthday month, you come to team meetings so that we can give you some birthday love. So happy birthday. As a matter of fact, for photos, if you do have a birthday this month, if you could come up to the front of the room. See, Becca, you're keeping me right, girl, keeping me right. Come on. You can't do any worse than I've done up here, right? Like, we're good. I love it. Happy birthday, my friends.
Birthday.
Oh, look, it's a good group,
Right?
right? Good time. See, no one looked in that picture like we absolutely, like they hated being forced going up to the front, right? All right, welcome to Corey, Portia, and Stephanie. So welcome into the. Come up and take a photo of me. So that way you won't look yourself. Isn't it? Oh, it's Corey here? Yeah, Corey. You don't get to avoid the problem. No, this is what we do here. We make you say it all the time. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. So it's important. I'm gonna get Corey because we're gonna make, no, by myself. I'll take a picture with you, lady. Thank you. All right, your ALC, actually, if you are on the ALC, if you will come up here and take a stand for me, I want to talk a little bit about you while you're sitting up here in front of everyone, because that's fun, you know. So first of all, I want you guys to please give a big round of applause to your ALC members for serving. It is a lot of time and effort that goes into serving on the ALC. And so that doesn't go, that is something that is near and dear to my heart, that you guys serve and that you give back, and that you guys are also the ones that are typically leading classes, and you're here to help everybody. And so you are who embodies what the ALC should be. Our friends in the ALC are building their committees. So you see the committees that they're in, and we'll send out the slides after the meeting. If you want to get more involved in your office and you want to put your fingerprint on some of the things that we've got going on, join our ALC members and their committees, and let's make this year the best year that we've ever had. So thank you again for your service. She got you. Yes, ma'am. Oh, yeah, of course. Go ahead.
I just wanted to pass around, we're trying to jumpstart our vendor program, and we really need some more vendors, guys. There are several categories, we have nobody. So please, please, if you have people, sometimes agents don't want to give up their vendors. But guys, please, okay, we promise they won't be overwhelmed where they can't service you, but please put their name, the company name and their phone number. We really need to go ahead and reach out to them and get some more vendors.
Well, like Kristen talked about us being their largest supporter, isn't it great that we can help other people, but grow their businesses also? And so wouldn't it be awesome if your favorite vendor had to add other people to their team because they became so popular? So yeah, don't be afraid of sharing. That's what we do here. And the vendor program pays for a lot of fun stuff that we like to put on and important stuff. So it's important that we build that program up. So thank you, Crystal, for that. And yeah, please add your names to our vendor list. And yes, if you would like to serve and be more involved in Market Center, please join one of the committees. Reach out to your ALC member that is of the committee that you love. And I would like to give a special thank you to Crystal, because Crystal said she was not going to serve on the ALC this year. But she did such a good job last year that nobody else could step into her shoes. So thank you. It's
Places and vendors in her.
right. I can afford.
What category?
What
What are we missing?
So many. I mean, we have a whole bunch of vendors, we have a lot of public sector, but really any other category, we could definitely use more people. But you can put down anyone in if you have someone that does that. Are you reaching out to the ones?
Any painters, engagements, first.
Everybody that touches a house, right, from landscaping on up. So think about kind of like when you do the ultimate memory jogger, go through and think about who do you partner with for warranties and all of the things that touch a house. That's a really good point. Painters and contractors are always of high need. All right, so stuff to put on your calendar because it's important, right? Shift Book Club, which has been going really well. You've got the last 3 sessions coming up. As a matter of fact, one was yesterday, is that correct?
Today.
Oh, it's today at 2, fantastic. Off a day this week for whatever reason. And thanks to Ediana for leading that book club. And if you haven't jumped into the first sessions, don't feel like, because yeah, 100%. Because it's not necessarily building blocks. Each one of the tactics are important on their own. All right, also coming up, and I just love that you guys give back. You've got a listing consult coming tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. Thank you so much for hosting that. We've got buyer consult then next Tuesday on the 17th at 1 p.m. Of course, everything can be found on your daily candy and of course on your kw1agents.com. P&L and profitability on Wednesday, the 18th. This is a fantastic time. If you have never ran your business with a profit and loss statement, this is the year to go ahead and do it. Start it here in January and move forward properly. Or even if you've had one and you'd like to dive a little bit deeper, I think finances is probably, it's gonna, making sure that you're running a sustainable business is going to carry you through the next couple of years. And so making sure that you know what's coming in, what's going out, so on and so forth is extraordinarily important. So make sure to put that on your calendar. Oh, this is big. So your Triad Market Centers have come together to pull a roundtable on 4 different panels. So they're going to have a panel on lead generation. They're going to have a panel on marketing, a panel on fierce conversations, which are we not having fierce conversations, and mindset. And so every market center has 2 agents that are going to be on that panel. So you see who your agents are representing. We've got Dee Dee and Karen in for lead generation. Fierce conversations, Dee Dee and Beth. Marketing panel, Jessica and Crystal, and mindset is James and Chris. And so what's awesome about this is a free event that your operating principals have come together to put together, have put together for you. And we did this in the Triangle and I came away with so many pages of notes. It was a lot like going to Megan Camper family reunion where I took more notes than what I could actually implement. So I would be surprised if you didn't come out with several nuggets. This is being held in Kernersville at the fire station, but the link is that little QR code. And again, we're going to send the slides out after the team meeting, so you'll have easy access to it, but definitely put this on your calendar. This is on the 19th and it's going to run from 12 to 4. And if I'm correct, is lunch?
So lunch is 12 to 1.
There you go.
We will start the panels at 1 o'clock. I'll look for 45 minutes and continue for and end at 4.
Perfect. Perfect, perfect. No, thank you again for our agents for participating in that, and make sure to jump in on that. That's definitely something to go to. It's gonna be worthwhile. Grow your profit share tree. I'm going to be teaching that on the 24th. We really should call it something much more fun, like passive income. And there's a slide on there of how you can refer agents in, but here's the thing. When Keller Williams rebooted, profit share was high on the list because we wanted to make sure that we were giving back to our agents for helping us grow. Profit share is something that it comes out of the market center side. So it's something that doesn't come from an agent. And so I just want to, I'm going to do the class so you can understand profit share at a deeper level, how to grow your profit share tree and make sure that you are building yourself a life legacy. I kind of think of it as our retirement plan, because once you are here for 7 years, you're vested. Except for those of us who have been here for a while, we've been vested after 3. But it's an important class. So I would love to see you there. We're going to do it mixed Zoom and in person. James Shaw, hands, who knows who James Shaw is? Awesome. Awesome. James Shaw is a fantastic gentleman within our organization who has started the pivot shift call during the pandemic. I don't know how many of you guys have gotten to get on that in the morning. It really carried me through, I know, especially in 2020, when we really didn't know what was going to happen and how everything was going to go in the market. And he has been a bright, shiny spot. But anyway, he's a fantastic instructor and he's doing shift both in Raleigh and in Charlotte. So he'll be in Raleigh on February 8th and in Charlotte on February 9th. And we'll make sure to get that registration link out to you. But if you've enjoyed the book club, definitely participate in the class. Family reunion. We're going to Anaheim, California. I am so super excited for this, not just because it's close to Disneyland. Right? It's going to be, this is our 40th anniversary. And can I tell you that this is going to be a family reunion that no one's ever seen. The theme is 1983 because that's where our anniversary is, right? And so the bash ought to be interesting. Everybody's going to have big hair and leggings and all kinds of good stuff. And so I'm really, really excited. But I have to tell you that family reunion is where I really understood Keller Williams at a deeper level. I had been here for 3 years before I gone to family reunion. I did not come into this company for Gary Keller, sorry, but I did. I came into it for the systems and models. I came into this company from the MREA and for our culture. And I was one of those agents that was like, oh my gosh, everybody here has drank the Kool-Aid and it's Gary. And I went to family reunion and I went, oh, I get it. So if you've never had the opportunity to go, it's worthwhile. If this is not your year, start saving up for next year because this is the one event every year you don't want to miss. You come away with so much. And also the relationships that you build, you talk about referrals, you're meeting people from all over the world who do real estate. And so again, passive income, right? Checks that just show up because you introduce somebody is a lovely thing. So please, if you're anybody going to family reunion for sure that you know, awesome. All right, if you're on the fence and want to know, talk more about it, I'd love to talk to you, but it's going to be fun. We're gonna have a great time. There is kelleragentreferral.com. Fantastic if you're in a transaction with another broker who you feel like would embody our culture. If you are talking to people who are not getting from their brokerage what you're getting from your brokerage, especially as this market is shifting. Let's face it, it's been easier to sell real estate for the last couple of years than it was prior to COVID. Yes. Right. I used to joke that you could put like a sign on a piece of land with a cardboard box on it. You could sell that thing in like 24 hours. That's the market we were in. And so now as we're coming into where we're all having to go back to the basics and work a little bit harder, there's going to be a lot of agents out there that are going to feel the stress and are going to be looking for help and looking for, somewhere where they can come in dive in and find out what those basics are. So introducing them to us, it's an easy in. Maxine said that I could pick on her. So one of the things that Maxine does when she refers somebody in is she makes sure that they know that the team leader or someone from our office is going to give them a call. So much more helpful than if you just send me a name that has no idea that I'm going to give them a call. Maxine, can you talk a little bit about, is that a difficult conversation to have or how do you normally broach that?
Yeah, well, my last experience, I had open house on Saturday, I was looking at her bed. And an agent had scheduled a showing, and she asked me how long I was with Keller Williams, and I told her when I just got my license. I said I started with Keller Williams, and I didn't do any ranch, so that's it. She said I would try it, so I want to get my license in 6 months.
Gosh, that's a rough 6 months.
She just move on slow. She said what reason why she was moved so much because it was the split. So when she was interviewing the firm she was with, it was like an 80-20. She says, but I realized they don't have a cap. So I'm supposed to be paying them 20%. I said, we do have a cap, and I said, I was gonna start putting her name in, she gave her the card, and putting her name in, I said, and our team leader will be contacting you. And I said, just don't know that your concern is the cap, so, and I'll take that in, that was her issue, was, it didn't have. a cap.
That's an easy conversation for me to be able to jump into, so thank you so much. I know already where her concerns are, and even though I'm not going to lead the conversation with that, I keep that in mind as I'm talking. One thing that I can promise you is that I will protect your profit share. So if you send names to me, I'm going to do everything that I can to make sure that they name you as a sponsor. We can't make them name you as a sponsor. You guys don't want to have that conversation. Let me have that conversation. But I just want you to know, I'm not looking to grow my downline. I'm looking to grow yours. And just that easy of an introduction, you know, and even if you don't find out a whole lot about them, and the only reason why you're putting their name down is because you've enjoyed having a great transaction with them, that's awesome. Just let them know that I'm going to give them a call. And I'm just building relationships. It's very much the same as it is for your real estate businesses, right? We build relationships, we nurture them, and if this is the place for them, that's awesome. If not, we meet another friend. That's the way that I like to look at it. But it's really awesome to be with a company that says we only want to you know, have what we need to sustain the business, and then the rest is yours. And so that's an awesome business model. Chris.
And I know the mindset, stay out of judgment if you can. When I first got into business, they always ask, and I'm prepping you guys, whenever you have a transaction that's a challenge, the first thing they're gonna ask you is, who's the arranger? They want to be arranger. So a lot of times, he just mentioned, oh, you know, if you had a great transaction, bring down, so I can call him back about the transaction. Well, the exact opposite is true. You've had an absolute train wreck transaction. Don't look at the judgment. A lot of agents don't have the training that you have.
That's so true.
So when it is a bad transaction, you can actually put that down and put it in your gym, this is a train wreck. So these are opportunities to say to somebody, hey, what can we have done better? What can I do better? What are you challenges you facing? Because a lot of people don't have the training, the systems, the tools we have, okay? And if you come from contribution that a rising tide raises all boats, our goal is to make everybody a great agent. So when you have those challenging transactions, don't just set up, I don't know for my company, they don't know what they don't know. So I would say that anybody you talk to, measure, say, look, I'm gonna have a team leader reach out, and we want your feedback. Period. I want to know what you thought of us, and vice versa. Let's raise the level of professionalism in our industry, period. We have the personality to have those conversations, right, that in our midst. So take advantage of it. Don't just think in terms of only great transactions. The train wrecks or the challenges is frankly where most of our opportunities that lie moving forward. That is, you couldn't get a hold of, ever, just put it in there. Then can have those conversations.
I love that. Thank you. That was on fire. Let's raise the level up of the industry as a whole. I love that. 100%. All of us took pre-licensing, right? When you think back to pre-licensing, they taught us this much of what the actual business is, right? Down to even how we submit offers, right? I'm so pleased to present you, right? All of that stuff that's not written anywhere, right? Yeah, but they're this much. So that's a really great point, Chris. There's a lot of people walking around that all they have is this much, and it's not their fault. That's really good. Don't come from judgment. Thank you. Thank you for your both. All right, 201 Club. 201 Club we introduced last month, and when we rolled out Command, for those of you who have been with the company since before Command, so anybody who was here when we had eEdge before we had Command? All right. So for those of you guys who are in Command, you don't know any different because that's what you've always had. But when we first came into Command, we said, look, we're building it. It's going to be clunky because we're starting from brand new. Most CRMs, most customer relationship management softwares are meant to be used one way. They're rigid. That's all they do. Command can be set up however you run your business. And so in the beginning, we said, look, we need you to use it because that's how we're going to know what works. That's how we're going to gain the data. And now we've been using it for long enough that we're getting in really good data. And one of the things they found is that agents who have at least 201 contacts in their database and they're communicating with them systematically, the 4 laws of lead generation, right? Build a database, feed it every day, communicate with it systematically, and service all the leads. Those are the 4 laws of lead generation, right? They know 200 contacts in your database being communicated with systematically through smart plans, through your quarterly calls. Those agents are making on average six figures, at least $100,000 a year. And you know, so we're really pushing for everyone to at least get that many people in your database. Of course, the more you have in there, the more opportunity you have, right? Beyond that. But who doesn't want to make six figures a year? So if we have the proof in our pudding, and we know for sure that the average commission is 119,000 for those that are sitting at that 201, let's at least put 201 in our database and communicate with them systematically. We will have another 2 sessions on this where we sit together with Monica and Sydney, our regional tech trainer, who is the absolute best tech trainer in the company. And we'll go through, and she's already built smart plans that will do your 36 touch for you. It's called the Carolinas 36 touch plan, I believe, and I'll send that out when we put out the slides. But it already prompts you for your quarterly calls. It already sends out the emails. And so it's built for you for the easy button. We gave you the easy button. So all we have to do is put people in there, right? Thank you. I appreciate that. Excited about it though. No, seriously. What we know is that you know, time is the one thing that you can't get back, right? And you have very limited of it. So we're trying to do everything that we can to make it easier for you to run your businesses. And so the next session that we have, hop on with us. We build our databases together. We talk about easy tips. I was a Marketing Center tech trainer in my history. I've held almost every position within Keller Williams. And it's funny though, when they asked me to be tech trainer, it was one job I asked not to have. I said, I will do anything but Marketing Center tech trainer. They're like, great, you're Marketing Center tech trainer. But I'm grateful for that because I understand command at a very high level. And the team that I ran, we were all command. We didn't use anything but command. And it was a team who's been with Keller Williams for, you know, several years. So that was not the easiest transition for us as it was for anybody else. And yet I know it works. And I know how to help you make it work. So the next time we have those sessions, try to join us and we'll build our businesses together. So very, very important 201 contacts. All right, now we get to embarrass people again. Congratulations, you get to come to the front of the room. December's listings and closings. If you had a listing and closing in December, will you please come to the front of the room? Come on. Good deal. All of it. Make room, make room. All listings and closings in December.
You're gonna have to switch together.
Switch. Hold breath. No. Big congratulations for everything. Good job ending the year strong. All right. Our top listings. Right. If you, do we have? Sure. Is it any of the three here? Well, Bill's of course here. Bill, if you will come to the front of the room and not look at me like that's the most exasperating thing that I've asked you to do today. No, you didn't do that. Congratulations for the top listings, right? Fantastic job, though. If you're on Zoom or watching the recording, great job. All right, home run hitters had a listing, had a contract written, had a contract closed. Beth, Burton, Bill, Chris, Jeffrey and Jason, George, Lauren, Monica, Sean, Sydney, and Taylor. If you are here, please come up to the front of the room. Steps of the day. Yeah, I'm getting your steps in. This is my job. I'm supposed to help you work out. All right, our home run hitters for December. Congratulations. I'm trying to make sure that you build up your hunger. Like I want you to eat good when we're done. So I'm just making you keep coming up here. All right, top individuals based on GCI. Again, if you're here, come up to the front of the room. Beth, Heather, Shannon, Jessica, Julie, Andrea. Thank you. That's important. I apologize. Marty, Lisa, Kim, and Rhonda, come up to the front of the room. Way to get it in December, way to get it. All right. If you're not tired of coming up to the front of the room yet, if you can please come up to the front of the room for our top teams, right? It would be, or like, no, we're allowed to do much. I'm sorry. Buchanan, we have Real Estate Group, the Howell Homes, the Kennedys, Albert Hill Team, James Davis, Realty Group, Osmond Realty Group, the Valentines. That's it, Valentines. See, I told you, I promised you I would mess this up. I apologize. Crystal Williams, Radiant, and Stanley Keller. I appreciate the grace. I told you I'd mess it up. I called back, well, actually, I had Becca call me on the way in. I was like, can you please just help me go through names because I know I'm gonna mess them up. Names are important, so I do apologize. Our top groups, Chris Pop Polarido Team, McCollum Realty Team, Mormouth Realty Group, Elite, Realty Group, Kim Mathis and Associates, and Angie Wilkie Team. If you guys will come up to the top for your top groups based on GCF. Nice.
Smile.
Congratulations. All right, expansion teams, Carolina Expansion Partners did 52,887 in December. Their total number was 79,345. So a good amount of that money was made in this market center. Okay, so is there anyone here from Carolina Expansion Partners today? Please come up. It's your time. Oh, good job. All right, first closing or listing with KW1 in December. So congratulations to Amber, Andrea and Wahida. Congratulations. Fantastic, good job, congratulations. All right, our cappers. So again, love a company that says we only need what we need to sustain and everything else we want to make sure that you put in your pocket. So congratulations, it is an honor to be in business with you. Congratulations on earning 100% of your commission. So if you are on this board, if you will please come up to the front. We have Jennifer, Rhonda, Lisa, Lizzie, and James. Thank you. Well, you could tell me to do that. I would have done that.
His birthday.
Congratulations. All right, your former T-loper, as he used to like to say, but now our operating principal, I asked him if he would be willing to go through the market numbers as he always has. And if you are not participating in Market Mondays, being the local expert of choice right now is going to set you apart as the market does continue to shift. So knowing your numbers and knowing your market is extraordinarily important. So now I turn it over to Mr. Andy.
So now I know why Jen asked me to do this, because she gets to do all the fun, happy stuff. Now I get to go work it out.
Mama didn't raise her done.
So please come to Market Mondays if you haven't. We are having great discussions about what's happening in the market. We go over lots more slides in this that are prepared there. Even if not, take a look at the Market Monday packet that we provide you. But we also, again, back to what kind of deals are people making? What kind of offers are being made? What kind of due diligence fees? What kind of concessions, right? We're talking about those real world examples. Again, you can have with your clients. All right. So here's some good news. Again, market share totals. This is sold price to original list price. We're at 101.7. This is for, of course, this past month in this, sorry, this is a rolling, this is the entire year. This is a year to date. We've been 101.7%. Sales list price ratio, okay? Edged out by, I want to take Summerfield. Market share totals, again, this is the entire year, this is, total unit count. We have 7.4% of the market, that beats our competitor by a whole point. So kudos to you guys for all the hard work we've done. And if you can see this, right, that's list versus sell, it's pretty balanced. It's pretty balanced, pretty balanced. This is market share total by volume, all right? We were number one in units, off by 0.1%. Our average price is 293. We're edged out because our average price is higher, right? But things like Dee Dee helping with the luxury group and raising prices, hopefully, we will, well, I know we will get there. Not hopefully, all right? So again, these slides will be in there. Volume, edged out, total units, number one year to date. Okay. Let's sell price, average market, 100%. That was last month, believe it or not, that's coming down. For a while there, it was over 100% for the entire market. But of course, we're at 101.7, we're again selling houses for more than our competitors are, or I would say our, the average agent. And also days on market, we're selling faster, 24 days. We're at a whopping 17. Okay, so again, in your listing package, you can talk to your sellers that our company, because of your hard work and our training and consulting, you're able to advise them and get their home sold faster and for more money. Any questions about that slide? Relatively easy, right? Okay, here we go. Now, we were at the regional meeting. Donna and Jen and I, and Mark King was there, and the December numbers for KWI came in during that meeting, and he pulled them up, we started talking, and guess what happened to the mood in the room? Like that, okay? Numbers are numbers, they're just an awareness, that's all it is. And in any given market, there are opportunities, right? Basically saying, or knowing what you did may or may not be working. If it is working, you may want to consider doing more of it. Have you maximize it? If it's not working, get rid of it. Go do something else, right? So. Sold dollar value down 29.64%. This is a month over month number, okay? Units sold down 36.31%. KWRI's numbers mirror this. The Carolina region's numbers mirror this, right? We are in a very strange market. We're talking about this on Market Mondays. I was listening to a podcast talking about Bitcoin. One guy was on there saying it was going to hit $150,000 by the end of 2024. The other guy said, you're crazy, it's going to be $5,000. Which guy is right? I have no idea, right? So all these numbers that you see, or where you're taking a look at, is there's going to be good information. There you are, list of sales price. Look, it's crazy. Average sales price, higher than it ever has been, right? But there's always a but. You're gonna, but we're not selling as many as we were, right? We're seeing inventory begin to grow. We're seeing prices begin to decline. Look at that average sales price. 311. Yeah, 282. Oh, I mean, sorry, they've gone up since the previous year, but now we're starting to see them decline, right? Okay, so any price range you take a look at, again, as evidenced by what the lender talked to us about, right? We're starting to see, even in those first-time home buyer prices, concessions. For a while there, it was still very tight, still very multiple offers, still going way over ask price in that 200 or 150 to $400,000 price range. That's what we saw, right? Now we're starting to see a softening. And your buyers that were not able to buy before because of either deposits or closing costs that they needed, that market is open now. I'd say that market is definitely open now. Okay. This is on the downward trend. Here's the question that you probably get asked a lot, or will get asked. Should I buy a house now? Yes? It depends, right? It always depends. Why are you buying? If someone says, I want to buy a house, I'm only going to be here 2 years, should they buy a house? Maybe, maybe, maybe. They could rent it out, right?
And the appreciation is cool. Oh, still wouldn't be.
There you go. There you go. It just really depends. But yes, timing the market is impossible. You only know when it's hit bottom when what? It's going up. Right? You only know when it's at its peak when it's going down. Okay? But if you look at those numbers and that, especially that slide from Mega Camp, which shows owning a house versus renting and investing the money in the stock market over the course of time, it is a much better financial investment, right? However, is financial the one piece of why everybody buys a house? No, right? There's lots of reasons why. And it's not just money. And your job as a real estate agent is to figure out why they're doing it and helping them stay focused on that why. Okay? So, Market Mondays, come on in. As far as selling now, if you're a seller, you're thinking about selling, it's time. You need to get real, get right, price it right. We're still seeing, we had a first-time home buyer house. We were talking about this on Market Mondays, listed for 250, right? 240, sorry, 240, took it 210. On the market, 200 days. 200 days. 240 is just too high. Now, how many of those listings are sitting out there? Anyone keep track of the expireds? There's double-digit expireds almost every day now. They're coming off the market, right? Right? So again, maybe another opportunity. When expireds were gone, now they're coming back, withdrawals, right? For sale by owners. People that could sell their house. Remember, there was a time when we were talking about, you could just post on Facebook, I got a house to sell, and 15 people would come knocking on your door, right? Those days are gone. Now more than ever, your buyers and sellers need you to consult them. Come and learn about the market, become their real estate economist of choice, right? So here's the great news. You're needed now more than ever. All right, broker in charge.
Thank you. Before they come. Well, at least you got the darn thing to work. That was better than I did. I wanted to say, the reason why I asked Andy, the reason why I asked you to go through those numbers, because they're too important. There are a lot of people who are not talking about the numbers, and the fact that we do, and we dive in early before we start to see the changes is super important. I'm your rah-rah cheerleader all day long, and yet at the same time, in order for you to run great businesses, you really need to know your numbers. And so that's why I asked. I thought we were gonna make this slide go away for the new year, but I guess we're technically December numbers, so maybe that's why you get to keep the awesome.
Asked me last week if I was sneaking up behind Crystal to hit her with.
All right, well, but word from your brokers in charge, so round of applause for our brokers in charge.
Hi, guys. You had all that great news and all that pep and all that, well, we're not gonna burst your bubble. In fact, I think the only thing we're going to say is for those that have not finished paying off all their dues, pay dues quicker, sooner, please. All right. Secondly, we've had questions on a couple of different items. One that came up recently, and that was about advertising and photos of properties that are listed by other firms and videotaping inside and taking photos inside and that sort of thing. And my counterpart here just finished going through an issue with photos, so I'm actually the Crystal to tell you what she just finished going through. See what an emotional topic it is.
That's always the way it is when you're getting ready to speak. I don't know.
Ted, please take over.
Yeah, give her a second.
All right. Keep in mind, there are 2 or 3 ground rules. I had a conversation with the legal hotline this morning talking about photos and using the images from other properties and that sort of thing. It is very important. People have a misunderstanding about ownership of photos. They assume that it is the firm or it is the property owner. It is not. Photos are owned by the photographer. We've had several of our agents that have approached us this year that have said, you know, so-and-so over at so-and-so is using my photos when I last sold that house. And I want to take them down.
Yeah.
Guess what? If the new firm has permission from the photographer that owns the photos, they can reuse those photos. Okay, so now.
Okay, that's why I'm good. So
About that. So if the listing agent paid for the photos,
they're still not.
they're
listed
still
yet.
not the listing agent.
No, that was gonna be what I was gonna share with you. So I, got a new listing and the seller wanted to use the previous photos because they didn't wanna have to get photo ready again. So she worked with the listing agent, but she terminated to pay for the photos. And when I was given the link, the photographer's new link was on an email. So I thought, and I should never have thought, but I thought that she took the money, paid the photographer, and I got the photos. Because the photographer sent her a new link for me to access. But she didn't. She just took the money, got a new link and sent it to me. So when I reached out to the photographer to ask for a couple of edits, guess what? I spent all weekend talking to everybody, including the photographer's attorney. And I just signed a new contract with the photographer, repaid for the photos, and that previous listing agent is reimbursing back my seller the money just to keep it clean and a clean paper trail. So it gets sticky, but we thought we did it right, but it stopped with the listing agent. She didn't finish that correctly. So you do have to make sure that you have permission from the photographer to reuse those photos. They are the photographer's photos.
And they get a little picky about it.
Yes, they do.
Unless your seller, and this has happened before, purchases the rights to the photos.
Yes.
Okay, and some sellers or some firms will do that. So, but you want to see proof positive of that. Chris?
So here's the why. If they lease you the right to use the photos, you don't pay taxes. If you guys actually go and buy the photos and pay for them as in purchasing them, then the seller will own them or somebody else will own them, and then we all start paying taxes because we purchased something. By leasing them, none of us are paying taxes to buy those photos. Okay, that's part of why. Yeah, you be paying sales tax, none of us pay sales tax. Because you're just leasing the rights, there's no sales tax on leasing rights, photos, okay? The person who took them owns them, and they can lease them to do whatever they want. You're also paying them the leasing rights. That's, you're also, otherwise we won't be paying, sales tax.
So and just one thing to think about too with social media, like taking over a big part of marketing is if you're selling properties and you're with a buyer in a house and you're snapping a picture of a unique something in the property, or you're just doing a quick video. If you don't have permission from the owner of that property, then you cannot do that. It is against the North Carolina real estate advertising rules and the MLS. And I know that everybody's doing that because it's come up. I mean, I see it on social media, but we had an instance where we're checking the it's a great area right now with MLS and the commission rules, but advertising, you have to have written permission from the seller to photograph their property and video. I'm guilty. I've taken pictures inside of the property, but you've got to have that permission.
I've given permission to another agent to do video at one of my properties.
You're talking about for personal use, you can't do it either?
Or you're talking about if I was to post it? Because if I post it, then I'm advertising or promoting. But my buyer, if they just want to remember what this living room looks like, they can, all they want. As long as they don't post it. But the thing, you gotta get that through to your buyer.
It's really
It's
nice.
very great, and they're even saying, you know, understand that it's great.
I recently got a phone call, actually right before Christmas, from someone who on their security camera had seen one of our agents with a buyer walking through the house, what looked like video. What they were actually doing was FaceTiming with the buyer's wife, who was not there. It was not on video. It was not capturing the image. It was relaying the image as they walked through the house. Okay, but boy, did I have a very upset agent call saying, you can't walk through your agent can't walk through videotaping my listing, blah, 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 blah. So if you feel like you just must pull out a camera or video something or do, even if it's FaceTiming, make sure to clear it with the listing agent. It's as easy as a phone call saying, may I will be, this is what we're doing.
In that case, do we also need to have, owner written permission as well?
In my opinion, I think as long as technically, the listing agent should be able to send you something in writing that says, I've spoken with the seller gives you permission or your buyer permission to FaceTime with whoever it is. I would not, I mean, I'm just gonna strongly recommend at no time should you really capture images of somebody else's house. Because you're trying to do this on relatively short notice. You may have 4 houses that you're getting ready to show. You're trying to get listing agent to get the seller to do it in writing to send it to you. The better idea is try to work something out so that either both spouses are there, if it is a spouse or whatever the case may be, or that you're absolutely completely clear to the listing agent and ask permission if you can FaceTime or whatever you're doing as you walk through, that you're not capturing the images. Steve?
They just send you like an email.
Yes, an email is fine. Make sure they get it to you before you're walking through the house like this.
Okay, so, sorry I just want to make sure I'm on the right page.
No problem.
With clients I've had that are out of town clients or out of state, I've used Marco Polo to go through the house, and that is like they can go back and rewatch it later, and for me, it's worked because then if their schedule doesn't line up with the showing schedule, I can still get it to them and they can watch it on their own time. That would be a situation I would need to get express permission from the listing agent.
If it's capturing the images, if it is taping or preserving the images, you need to have it in writing. If it is nothing.
Isn't there a show choice in showtime?
They should, because video. In Showtime. Yeah.
If in doubt.
Which would say, if they approve that, then that would say the term of the email.
Okay,
If in doubt, contact the listing agent. I mean, we would want agents showing our listings to have the courtesy to do that, so we'll just contact. Okay.
I wanted to share something, I have nothing to do with pictures, but this is what just happened with one of the private agents that I cleaned. It's has to do with Open Door, and I think we all need to be careful. When she sold the house, Open Door house a couple of months ago, it said that it was on the city sewer. The buyer had issues, now turns out it's accepted. So I would highly recommend that you include Open Door, double, triple that. Yeah, I mean.
It would, we actually.
Yeah, it's taken their up.
what was that? I'm sorry, I missed what that was. What was the?
Open Door had a house listed on a city store, it was sold. A few months later, buyer had issues and found out it's actually septic, it's not on city. And that neighborhood is half is on city, half is septic, and there's not even an option for them to get on the city.
Tell us the name of this.
I don't, this is in Charlotte area, but I mean. Again, it's an open door and we have.
I would say this can happen on, it can happen on any.
Actually, we just had that happen in this office. We just had that happen in this office. You know, I don't presume anything. This agent did not see the wellhead cover, but it turned out into a major mess. But we've also had agents that saw a wellhead cover and put, oh, well and septic, never checked it, didn't do what they were supposed to. There are plenty of properties that have wells on them that are actually now on municipal water systems.
Yeah.
So verify, when you're doing the material fact, you want to verify exactly what it is that services the property in the house. Okay, if they've got a well there for washing cars, that's great, but verify what it is that is servicing the property, the house itself. And I know you weren't thinking on open door. I mean, it's easy for people to mess up.
This is not the first thing, there's several one, I mean, there's another one where they put their screen in porch, and they got there's no porch. Like, so they're not, these agents especially, I mean, a lot of agents are not doing that, but especially the open door.
Well, the
It's why
material,
there's so
the
many.
material issue has become so large that it is the bulk of your update course this year.
Yeah.
So when you go and do your update, you're gonna sit like 2.5 hours and nothing but material.
Hey,
And what-
say that, do it with a smile.
Because we started all of this over a year ago, like all those agents on the Zoom were freaking out. And I was like, man, he took half my slides out of my material. I mean, it really was very repetitive of what we go through and talk and teach and educate you on. So you'll feel good that you're actually doing more than the bulk of North Carolina. But I am. Sorry, it just came up and it wasn't on our list, so you'll see it come out.
The flip side though is.
District is like a whole chapter, and it's something that isn't on ours, but it's becoming a huge issue with the state, so we're gonna add that as a double check.
If it is the radar of the real estate commission and we're starting to see litigation about it and that sort of thing. Just like we try to be in this office, we're trying to be ahead of the curve, not being reactive. The whole idea is to be preventative. So that's great news. I do want to ask, take one straw poll. Who is glad to see the Atlantic Bay and Tri-City disclosures disappear? So I was asked correctly by someone that knows a lot, Spencer, about whether or not having the disclosure on those was a RESPA violation or anything along those lines. Our revenue stream and our partnership and all of that on a couple of these entities is ending. So we're not receiving a revenue stream, in that regard. So.
Bill, let me make one more comment about the pictures, and this is like learning from my mistakes.
Sure, I like those.
So this happened one time, we were trying to get a picture of a Honda jet. And they were fairly new, and so it was just right click on the internet, and has a picture of a Pico airplane. It was owned by Getty Images. They found it, they sent us letters from ours. It happened to someone else, y'all. So just those people, and you see Getty, if you ever look at CNN or anything, every picture comes up there done by Getty Images. They will find you, these people in their pictures.
Be very careful also when you're taking pictures for your property or listings and you go use a generic photo of the pool or the clubhouse or an aerial or something that you just found online. Okay, because 9 times out of 10 in those areas, those are photos that were taken at some point by a photographer for listing or a lot of those. So be very careful about just assuming when you find it that you can put it in on your list.
So a lot of times we'll go in the houses where I really do something that they've done, so you're telling me that I can't even do that, like if it's for my own purposes, like if I want to remember like a decor or something, I can't do that.
Then that's different because you're not advertising.
Okay, so it's as long as it's not advertising.
You know, agents sometimes they go to like, well, check out this funky blah, 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 post on Facebook.
Yeah, okay.
If you want to emulate it, I would still though, especially if the house happens to have a security system that has cameras and everybody in the big brother's watching. Before you take a photo of something, call the listing agent and just say, wow, this is a really great listing. I'm standing in it and I love the china cabinet. Would your seller mind if I take a photo? I mean, I just rather really always err on the side of caution. I mean, that's just me, and I'm way on the kind of top.
What you got, James?
Earlier, you mentioned that the firm sometimes start paying for rights. So they say that our firm is paying for rights for.
The firm is paying for the rights of the photo. Well, the firm doesn't enter into a contract with the photographer usually.
So when does the firm?
You say it's above it.
Here, we don't, like the firm doesn't enter into any particular photographer for you guys. You do your own contract.
You can do it with your Polaroid if you like. I've seen a few that look like it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, we all have. But yeah, the firm is not, has no contractual obligation whatsoever with the photographer or anything else. Anything else?
And just one more thing, when they signed the listing agreement, in the listing agreement, it states that any photos that they give to us to use, first of all, they're saying that they have the rights to give them to us.
Right.
But secondly, they're saying that they become ownership of, the firm has ownership or use rights in perpetuity. Have we ever had any problems with that?
We actually, I haven't had any problems, but I mean, I've had plenty of, and I'm sure we all have, you get a listing this time of year and say, boy, you ought to see it in the spring. I've got photos when the backyard is. Just make sure to document it when they send it to you and get it to you and do all of that. And I'm just gonna tell you about 7.3 times out of 10, it's not formatted for us to use well anyway. So you just say, oh, that's beautiful. And then you just don't use it. But you're correct, but do document that you got it from the seller and that they are representing the fact that they have the right to give you the photos that you're going to use. I like it a lot better when they say, we just took this when we were playing in the backyard with the grandkids last year. I like that a lot. Because if they really thought their backyard was beautiful and they had a photographer come out and take photos, guess who they belong to? So, all right. Thank you guys very much. Oh, wait a minute.
I'm seeing people post in their, I'm seeing agents post in their agent own remarks that they're giving you permission to share their listing on social media.
You've seen her?
I've seen that. I was actually looking at one just yesterday that said this is express permission to share this property on social media. And I'm like, can they really do that across the board?
I mean, if their seller has directed them to do that, then yes, they can.
Yeah, that
That
makes me nervous.
It's like this gray rule and wording and MLS advertising with the North Carolina Real Estate Commission, like it's just very gray, you know, I mean.
And then really until the precedent is set in a courtroom someday, it may not get any clearer.
I just would never want you guys to be that agent that sets that precedent. That's all. Like, just be careful, cautious.
The listing agent could give you that permission and agent only remarks. The seller didn't give their agent permission, pass that along, and the seller sees it on Facebook and goes, well, that's not bad. You know, I mean, you need to be just judicious in your use of any images of anything. In fact, you know what a great way to promote our listings? Contact and show the properties listed in this phone. Makes it much easier. Takes a lot of the gray area out of the equation.
Did you have something else?
Yeah, I was probably just gonna be like beating a dead horse, but I guess I was gonna say, like you said, if it was Keller Williams one listing and it said seller and listing agent give you permission to share, you know, I would say that's one thing, correct me if I'm wrong. If it was another firm, one could maybe argue that you would need the broker in charge permission and that listing agent and that seller's permission. So to market.
I guess my question in this is why would we want to help promote another firm's listing? Yeah, we got plenty. I guess that's where I question that. And I know they're one of a kind listings and stuff, and you want to put something out there that is just really remarkable. But again, you know, I mean, y'all.
Some of our agents don't want you to share this stuff.
Well, and that's why you ask permission first, even in this company. It's not a given. I mean, it's not a given. And actually, keep in mind that the listings don't actually belong to that agent. They belong to this firm. However, as a professional courtesy, you do that from the agent that's in, that, who's listing it is. Okay.
Are y'all hungry?
Thank you, guys.
Okay, good luck. I'm just gonna say, if you're worried about material facts, utilize our agent services department. That's a lot of what they do for you. That takes that off. That does not take away your responsibility as an agent, right? It's still your license on the line. Thank you so much. I hope that after this meeting, you keep me, right? Like, that's what I'm hoping. No, go have some lunch. Thank you so much for coming. And thank you so much for participating, because you might have asked something that somebody else didn't think of, didn't want to ask. And so that's what we're all about. Thank you, guys. Have some food.